I'm sure you've seen the epic footage with the DJI Mini 3. Of course, those are in some epic locations made by some very talented creators. And I think, well, if I have a Mini 3, I could probably do the same thing. But the thing of it is, I'm not Peter McKinnon or any of these other content creators. And I'm not in Iceland or Italy or any of these other epic locations. So what kind of footage am I going to get? But maybe something like this.
But you guys can see where I'm sitting. There we go, rooftop deck.
And then I thought, okay, well, maybe I could just go to some national parks and take some epic footage there. Regardless of the weight you have, you still have the drone restrictions where you can't fly. The potential I see as a solo content creator is to use it in a very ordinary or mundane, kind of boring way. And that is as a cameraman. And now hear me out on this. I know you might be thinking, well, that's kind of stupid. I mean, who's going to do that? But check this out from Jeb and Dovey.
So this is a pretty cool way to talk to camera and have a lot of motion. You could use the active track, follow yourself, and actually get these walk and talk shots that you really can't get with other cameras, especially when you're by yourself.
Now, you can use it in creative ways like that, and then every once in a while get some epic footage from places that you go. I think it'd be totally worth it. I mean, there's a big chance it would be just expensive paperweight, unless I'm going to be willing to spend the time to really learn it and get my skills down and really use it in creative ways. And I think people like Jeb and Dovey and others, they're doing that and they're showing us, hey, you can actually take your drone and do some pretty creative things. And instead of just thinking, oh, I have to be in Iceland or Italy and I have to just fly over these mountains and get wake up at 5:30 in the morning and get these epic shots. Sure, you can do that and you can get these epic shots from the places that don't have restrictions. But you can also use it in a very mundane way and really propel your videography or storytelling a lot further than you would if you didn't use something like the DJI Mini 3. I also think it allows me to stand out a little bit more if I use a drone like that and other people can't because of all these barriers to entry. Like you see a lot more blogs out there than you do people creating videos, because there's a barrier to entry and the skills involved and so on. And so the more barriers that are there are great, because it means that the solo content creators that are using video and using things like the DJI Mini 3 are able to stand out a lot more. Because the other solo content creators are basically relegated to using stock drone footage, which is fine, but you're not in it and everyone else is using it as well. So the more you can stand out, the better off you are. I think having a drone and using it in creative ways is going to make it a lot easier to stand out, and it's going to make it a lot more fun to create videos. It's a lot easier to propel your story forward when you're able to have all these different angles that you wouldn't get if you were just using a tripod or even using an action cam on, small, unusual locations, which is fun to do in and of itself. But I think the drone opens up a lot more for a solo content creator. And I think the DJI Mini 3 is really worth it. But it's going to take some time to develop some skill. For me, I think I'm just needing to realize that, yeah, I'm not always going to get that epic footage, but I can get some really creative footage. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. And I think it's worth getting with that in mind. And otherwise, if you're expecting that epic footage, I probably wouldn't get it. I'd just use a stock footage. Because at the end of the day, unless you're in there really is not any way of differentiating that footage from somebody else's necessarily. And a lot of these drone creators that sell that stock footage, they are talented and they get some angles that you're just not going to get. So definitely worth getting our list and going for it that way. But for me as a solo content creator, I'm looking forward to the creative things that allow me to do to propel story forward as a videographer. So hope you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to give it a like. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time.